Hello, everybody, and welcome to Binging with Badness, the only podcast that's still doing it, even though all of our movies were done yesterday, but it's a whole thing, and we're still here. This is our very first Thanksgiving week episode, because usually we're done yesterday with our last live stream, but there's a movie every single day this week, and so now we are doing more.
And I'm Vanessa Vogel.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a long speech. I'm tired. I'm not used to doing shit on Wednesdays. This week today, it's Heart of the Holidays, which was on Monday. Our very first Monday movie. Mm-hmm. It starred Vanessa Lenges and Corey Sevier, both of whom are Canadian, you know. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Heart of the Holidays is about this lady who was... Usually I write these things down, but in my initial notes, this movie did not exist.
Huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Which is not... This was actually... It was to be determined.
Oh.
So, it's been determined. Anyway, basically, the rundown is,
Did this come out of the archives? Like, is this from...
I don't know.
Because it talks about the recession, and the recession hasn't been around for a while, you know?
Did it talk about the recession? Oh, I guess it did, eh?
So, do they stock movies? And, like, just in case they need an extra slot, they just throw it in there?
That's a good question. That'd be funny. Anyway, career-driven Sam returns to her hometown for the holidays when she runs into her old high school boyfriend, Noah. Together, they rediscover what Christmas is all about. As you do.
As you do.
So like I said, the stars Vanessa Lenges, I believe is how you pronounce her name. I apologize if it's wrong. Who's Canadian, you know? And I actually, this is one of the people I know. Being Canadian, mm-hmm. And watching Canadian television, because she was the third co-host on a show called Popular Mechanics for Kids, which apparently you guys did get here in America a little bit. Here. It was all over the place in Canada. That's also where we got Alicia Cuthbert and Jay Baruchel. So, you're welcome. She was also in a movie called Waiting, which is a very good movie if you've ever worked in a restaurant. She was also in some movie called Rogue One.
She was in Rogue One.
I don't know. It's some sort of Star Wars. Yes, she was in Rogue One. With a name and everything. She wasn't just like Soldier 4.
Oh, good for her.
And, of course, everyone's favorite television show from 2009, Glee.
She was in Glee?
She was in Glee. She was in the later, fourth season. Mm-hmm. She played a character named Sugar. Mm-hmm. Sugar's gimmick was that she could not sing.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. So she was in that. I actually stopped watching the show before she showed up. Mm-hmm. Because even I don't have that kind of mental acuity. But there you go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was... the male lead is a guy by the name of Corey Sevier, who I didn't think I knew, but I do know. Because he was Mega Man in the game Mega Man Legends, which is a game I loved as a kid. It is not a good game. But it is a game I loved as a kid. It was for the N64 PlayStation kind of thing, and it was a 3D Mega Man game. And it was like an RPG. Mm-hmm. It was a whole thing. Anyway, he because he is also Canadian, he was in Goosebumps, which is a show I hated as a kid because I scare easily. He was in Aquaman, but not the one you're thinking.
What?
There was an Aquaman TV show that had a pilot, but it was so bad it never got off the air.
Oh.
Like that Wonder Woman pilot that happened in 2010?
We don't speak of that Wonder Woman pilot.
Yeah. And of course... the pièce de résistance, Zombie, which is a movie in which Osama bin Laden comes back from the dead as a zombie. Not kidding. Real movie.
Kids, we have to watch this movie.
Do we though?
Yeah.
Oh God.
It could be the sequel to Pop Stars Never Stopping.
Why?
Because.
Oh. Yeah. You know what? Maybe you're right.
Wouldn't you want Andy Samberg to come down on a helicopter with a machine gun gunning down Osama bin
I
Laden?
would. Finest girl I ever met in my whole life. Wanna take her home, make her my wife. Knew she was a freak when she started talking. She said, fuck me like we fucked Bin Laden. Why didn't you guys watch that movie?
Yeah. It's so good.
Pop Star Never Stopped, Never Stopping. It's done by The Lonely Island. It should have been big. It should have been huge.
Yeah. And then in the kayfabe, it kind of tanked, which is kind of hilarious.
Which is, yeah, I mean, you know.
It stars the star of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Exactly. Anyway, so that's, you know, I'm mad about that, but I'll keep being mad later. He also directed the movie, so I believe this is one of his first directorial films.
Well, he did pretty alright.
You know, it's not bad. And it was written by a lady named Kate Prongel. This is her second movie after a movie called Home for the Holidays.
Did we watch that one?
I don't believe we did.
Okay.
I think that might have been 2019's offering. Mm-hmm. So it's a very Canadian film, which, considering the quality of this thing, makes me sad. Not gonna give anything away, but yeesh. Anyway, curtain up. We open with the exact same Christmas Eve shots of New York that have opened up at least 4 different movies so far. You get the tree at Rockefeller Center, you get the ice skating rink, you get the Empire State Building, and here you go. By the way, have you guys seen the awful 30 Rock tree that they have going on right now? The one with the owl in it?
Yeah, well, you leave little Mr. Snowy Owl out of this. He's adorable and he needed food.
Well, I know, but like, it is such a raggedy-ass tree.
Well, to quote the tree's official Twitter, you must look stellar after 3 days of travel. Like, they got
I do. You ain't seen me.
That's true, you do. But it doesn't. So, you know, just wait till he gets his lights up. You know, you throw some ribbons on its bald patches, it'll be great.
Yeah, well, we'll see. When does that light?
Usually a little bit after Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say, it's gotta be soon, eh? So we hit our main female lead. Her name is Sam, not Sand. And Sam is super busy on the phone with one of her assistants who is having trouble. She tries to fix whatever's going on with them, but the kicker is she doesn't actually work here anymore. She left her job that day and is still doing her job right now. If you are this kind of like...
Dedicated?
Dedicated in corporate positions, stop it. Stop it right now. They don't care about you the way you care about them.
Yeah. You're making the rest of us look bad.
It's not even that, but yes, you are. Stop it. Also, while she's doing this, she's working out constantly. Because she's always on the move.
Very New York.
Very, very New York. And there is a scene where they're like, we'll try to get them tickets to a Broadway show to smooth everything over. She calls the box office, and she's like, hey, do you have tickets for tomorrow's matinee of blank? Excellent, we'll do that. Bullshit. You ever try getting tickets to a Broadway show? I'll assume your silence is a yes. It is so hard. It's called Next Day.
I mean, like, Hamilton
Next Day
was impossible to get, but maybe, like, Cats was easy to get.
I mean, maybe, but you gotta, like...
Or, like, Lion King might be...
For any show worth a damn, you know, yeah, you could...
Maybe it wasn't worth a damn. You don't know. Maybe she hated this guy.
That is true. I'm just saying, ain't no way.
Also, she didn't specify what show it was. She just asked, do you have anything for tomorrow's matinee?
Yeah, for the Broadway show?
Oh, they're probably like, we've got 2 tickets to Cats, but you're gonna have to stand in the alleyway behind the theater.
Oh, God. That's another movie we should do for this podcast. Cats.
Kitty, you hated Cats.
I hate a lot of things I'm forced to do. So yeah, let's see. Oh, sorry, go on.
I'm saying you're not forced to do this. You love holiday movies.
No, I don't mean this. I mean this. No. But yeah, so I have written here, this woman sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
Not exhausted. Exhausting to be around.
She did fall asleep on the floor.
And that's the thing, like, she's doing sit-ups, and then, like, on the downswing of a sit-up, she just falls asleep.
I've been there.
Apparently, she misses a date because some strange man breaks into her house, and she's okay with that. This is Will. It's her boyfriend, and she came by with food.
Chinese takeout, so you know.
Always nice. He gives her an early Christmas present that looks to be inside, like, a ring box. So she's like, oh, it's proposal time. And he gets, like, a call before she can open it. And he's like, yeah, one sec, I'll just put this away. And then it keeps calling, and it keeps calling. And he's like, I guess I'll answer it. Hi, blah, blah, blah. What? Work? Workity work. I have to leave. Open up your gift. And it's, like, a necklace. Pretty necklace.
In a ring box?
Yeah. And then, like, she's like, oh, it's great. And, like, she is sad to the point of tears.
Okay, but, like, say you're having cheap Chinese takeout, eating it straight out the box, and, like, your other comes in with what is effectively a ring box.
It was a ring box, yeah.
And, like, that's not, like, I've seen necklace boxes. They're bigger and oblong. Or earring boxes are, like, twice the size of that, but the same, like, parameters. Why would he go out of his way to put a necklace in a ring box? What cheap place did he go to?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? So he talks about it, like, she's super disappointed on it, but he explains that he got it in Germany.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is, like, a place he went for work. He got it, and he brought it back to her. So, like, yeah, it's not a ring, but it's just some lame-ass necklace he got from Germany. I have found that in this movie, Sam is very overdramatic. Like, a lot of things that shouldn't, like, be that big a deal are world-ending for her. So Sam hasn't had a real Christmas with her family in 8 years. And that trend is going to continue. Because her new job, she's working at the stock exchange, starts New Year's Eve. That sucks.
Usually the stock exchange closes New Year's Eve, but yeah, it is.
Or Christmas Eve.
Oh, yeah. I guess Christmas Eve isn't a banking holiday. But even then, it'd be closed the next day. There's no point in starting her the day before you gotta close
exactly,
down.
Right? So she's talking to her mom, like, she's in front of the building. She's talking to her mom. And she's like, yes, blah, 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 workity work. And she looks across the street, and there's a homeless man. And she has, like a trance moment, like an epiphany, for some reason. She's just like, oh no, people are sad on Christmas. And then you can hear, like, the sound fades out, and you can hear her mom go, Sam, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine, I have to go to work now. This never comes up again.
Well, it's to show that she cares.
Yeah, so that we learn kind of later that she always wanted to, like, help people, and I guess this is what she meant. But, like, it's weirdly out of nowhere, where she's just like, oh no, sadness. Anyway, back to money.
Well, yeah, back to money, indeed.
Sam walks into her new job, and a whole lot of people are walking out of her new job with boxes. She goes to her new CEO's office, knocks on the door, walks in, and it's her boyfriend. And she's confused. And he's confused.
Double
So what happened was, the reason he had to leave last night was because they were putting the finishing touches on a merger. The merger was buying her new building, her new job.
Yeah.
So he is now officially her boss, the CEO. How did this not come up in conversation?
He's a jerk. Like,
did neither of you pay attention? Like,
well, okay, to be fair to her, like, if she works in finance, she's got, like, 1,000 different things on her plate, and she has no time to pay attention to who's buying the company that she's about to transfer to, right?
Right. But that's not really the issue. The issue is, hey, like, my company is buying. We're working on buying a new company. Oh, which one is it? Blankety blank. oh, that's the one I work at now. Like, did a very quick conversation, do neither of you pay attention to other, or like, oh, I'm going to take a new job. Oh, where at? Blankety blank. That place I'm buying.
Apparently, he must have bought it last night. You know?
Well, yeah. Apparently, this was a spur-of-the-moment type $1 billion deal. Because nobody talks to anybody.
You can just do that in finance, I guess. But no, like, doesn't her boyfriend also go out of the way to save her job in the middle of the night? He doesn't bother telling her in the morning, like, hey, she's going to be weird when you get here. Don't panic.
That's the other thing. And so she is like, oh, so I don't have a job anymore? He goes, no, you still work here. She goes, oh, but people are going to know that I'm dating the CEO, and then they're going to think that's how I kept my job. It's like, all right, then we won't tell anybody. It's like, that's even worse somehow, because, I came here to spread my wings, actual line, I came here to spread my wings, and now I didn't come here to be water cooler gossip. Are you overreacting just a smidge?
I mean, to be fair, again...
To be fair...
I'm going to be using that line a lot this time around.
Mm-hmm.
She, like... It's hard for women in predominantly male...
and that is true. And I'm not saying it's completely unfounded. Mm-hmm. But also, this is her first day. Mm-hmm. Her first day is when the takeover happened.
Yeah.
So it's not like she worked here for a long time. Her boyfriend came in, and then everybody got fired but her. It's true. Like, nobody's thinking that, because nobody knows who she is.
That's true, but she would be the only person with any rendition of seniority, because she wasn't fired in the last round.
Not everybody was fired, though.
Not everybody was fired?
No.
It looks like they were cleaning house.
Yeah, there was quite a few, but not everybody. I see what you're, like, where that's coming from, but to me, I don't know, it feels like an overreaction. She breaks up with her boyfriend because she doesn't want to be seen as water cooler gossip, and she quits her job. She's out completely. I wrote down that she broke up with her boyfriend. Later in the film, we find out that the boyfriend did not think that was a breakup.
Well, she looked him right in the face and said, we need space.
We need space, yeah.
I'm going back home. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, good day. Good day forever.
And I believe between this point and the end of the movie, like, 2 or 3 weeks have passed.
It's quite a while.
Like, it's a long while. Mm-hmm. And if you don't talk to... You say, I need space, and you don't talk to them for, like, 2 or 3 weeks, you're over.
That's a breakup, yeah.
That's it. It's over. She ghosted you, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. Which is a pattern with her. We will find out. So, I guess when she said she needed space, she wasn't kidding. Because in the next scene, she is driving back home. Which is, like, Connecticut or something like that. It
was called Crowley?
Crowley?
It was spelled funky.
Yeah.
But according to a later scene, it takes 6 hours to drive there.
Yeah, it's a pretty far off drive. And she just, like, shows up at her mom's house, like, surprise! She goes up to her old bedroom, which has not changed since she left almost a decade ago. And she has not been back since. Because she gets in, and there's, like, fairy lights on the wall. It, it looks like a teenage girl's bedroom. Like, she sits down, and she's like, nostalgia. And she sees a picture of her and a guy. And it burns her like the sunlight to a vampire. Because she, like, picks it up and throws it in a drawer. And we never see it again. So her and her mom go to get a Christmas tree for their house. And as they're driving, she's like, the tree farm is over there. Shouldn't the tree farm be over there? Where are we going? She goes, no, the trees are all in the cafe now. Pardon?
I mean, it's a small town. You might as well do it where all the people are, right?
Yeah. Sam starts freaking out. For some reason. Because she doesn't want to see the guy in the photo. And I guess he has something to do with the cafe. But he's a baker? And works at, like, a bakery? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Does he work at the cafe?
I think he owns that cafe.
He owns... Oh, you're right. Goes to that cafe. And she's like, no. Dear God, no. Like, something happened. So they get to the cafe, and the dude in question, who's our male lead, his name is Noah, comes outside and immediately locks eyes with Sam. And it is immediately like tension. And they're just like, hey, I have to go. Did one of them kill somebody else's dog?
Or her dad.
Her dad is dead.
She's got a dead dad.
She's got a dead dad.
But I do like how her mom and the tree salesman were just like, so I found a tree that I like, even though they just got out the car.
Yeah.
And they're standing, like, near the trees, and they're like, trees, limbs, trees.
Yeah, limbs, trees.
And they
very clearly eavesdropping.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mom's whole mission in this movie is to get Sam and Noah to talk to each other for some reason. So, and that this is the movie. This is their relationship in a nutshell. Noah, Sam. I should go. Yeah, no, me too. And that's what it is for like an hour. An hour. Oh god, this movie. Okay. The next day they are decorating the tree. I don't know if it's at night or if it's in the morning. The point is they're in their pajamas. And she talks about how nervous she was meeting Noah again. Because apparently they are both super stubborn and refuse to talk about anything. Great basis for a relationship. According to her mom, she has her father's demeanor, who we see in the photograph. And he has died of Hallmark syndrome. Hallmark syndrome, for those of you who don't know, is when a person in a Hallmark movie has died for no reason.
Well, based on the way she talks about him, it must have been a stress-related heart attack or something.
Yeah. Sam gets a call from her ex-boyfriend, and she ignores it. Noah gets an offer from some lady. Her name is Morena.
She's a very nice Asian girl.
She's a very nice Asian lady. They are working on food for a food bank. So she is coming over to bake and just flat out asks him out for coffee. He says yes. This never comes up again. Like, very rarely, like...
Yeah, he said he had a lot going on and he would call her.
Yeah.
He never called her.
He never does. And there's, like, sometimes it comes up like, so, you and Morena, huh? And he's like, yeah. No. I have to go. He directed this movie.
He did. But no, like, I thought that was going to be a whole thing where the fact that the bookstore girl liked him too. It's not.
It barely even.
She catches them in the midst of an argument and it's over from there.
Yeah. Noah and Sam once again meet each other and once again have a super awkward conversation. There's nothing to talk about because nothing gets said. Later that day, Sam meets an old friend named Tessa, who is a fucking giant.
She's like 7 feet tall.
She is a full-on foot taller than... She has to be a foot taller than...
Is the lead very short or is she just very tall?
You know what? I don't know. But she'd have to be pretty short because, again, she towers over her.
She does. And she's 9 months pregnant.
Yeah, and her character is she's pregnant, and her entire character boils down to I'm pregnant and hungry.
Yeah, I get that.
Thanks for coming. Yeah.
I thought she was going to be a bigger plot point, because, like, at a certain point in the movie, she says she's 2 days overdue.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, oh, we're going to hit a crisis point, she's going to give birth, and it's going to be a big, beautiful thing, and the miracle of birth on Christmas. No.
Nope. Yeah, at one point, well, we'll get to it at the thing, but, like, she has the baby off screen, and we never see her again.
Did she have the baby?
Yes, she did.
Oh.
It was a girl.
Was it?
Yep.
When did this get revealed?
During the phone call at the end after she comes back. We'll get to it. So anyway, she starts talking to this older couple. And the lady is like, oh, Sam, I haven't seen you since, and the camera pans to Noah, who looks disgusted, and then it pans back to Sam, and it pans back to her, then it pans back to Noah, then it pans back to her, and she goes, well, it's been a long time.
Her name is Val, and she's a town gossip.
What happened between these two?
Clearly it was death.
Who lit whose house on fire? We're gonna find out what happens to them, and it's not worth this. Sam has a conversation with Tessa about how great it is to live in a small town, and Sam has a full-on stare-down interrogation session of Morena, and she's just like, oh, who is she? What's she doing here? Her and Noah, huh? What does she do? Are they going out? And Tessa's just like, would you chill? Somehow they are decorating cookies, and somehow these cookies become metaphors for relationships, because Sam is very bad at decorating cookies, which we all know means she's bad at love.
It was a metaphor?
Yeah, pretty much.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was comic relief.
No. Well, I mean, yeah, it is, but it's supposed to be a metaphor. It's clunky. Sure, it's clunky.
Okay. What? Okay. Sure.
We have yet another horribly awkward scene where everybody has left and Sam is cleaning up, and Noah walks in on her, scandalously washing her hands. Because, like, he comes in, and she's like, oh! And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Whoa, okay, what happened? And then again, the dialogue. Sam. Noah. Rex. Shepherd.
Sammy.
I have to... Sammy. Cass.
Dean.
And that's it. And so... Sam... Or, almost said Dean. Sam and Dean... Dean gets impaled on a spike. And he dies.
Which is the stupidest way to go. Ever.
You guys watch Supernatural finale? Because damn.
The clear answer is you have to kill them both to stop them.
You either kill them both or you kill none of them.
Yes. Because they will bring the other back. We've established that. You kill both of them
7
at the same
times.
time. And then you burn the ashes. You salt and burn.
Yeah. You guys know this? Anyway. So Sam tries to get Noah to talk about whatever happened. And he, like, runs away. He wants nothing to do with this. And this is where the big reveal happens. Apparently, Sam moved to New York.
Without telling anyone.
Without telling him. Told other people, just not him. That's the issue. Like, that's a dick move.
Yeah.
But...
That's kind of fucked up, really. But, like, it's not awkward fucked up. It's, if I see you again, I'm gonna scream at you. Screwed up. Like, he should have come out swinging at this girl.
But it's been 8 years, right? Like, somebody, like, needs to get over it.
Like, he still has shit that he has from her. She still has stuff hung up about him.
Yeah. Ah, jeez.
Okay, so, like, assuming this takes place in 2020, right?
Right.
And that means she left in 2012.
Yeah.
We had Skype and Facebook back then. Guys!
Cutes, we all know, us especially, we know that long-distance relationships do not work.
Oh, yeah, 5 hours is just too far away.
It's just awful.
It's just impossible for a relationship. No one can drive that long.
Oh, God.
That's why truckers have to stop after 2 hours.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. I am, though. I'm very wrong.
I am so wrong.
Noah calls it all water under the bridge. Noah is lying. We follow Noah back to his home, who reads like a recipe in his book, and then it focuses on an ornament on his tree that says N+S in a heart, which obviously stands for Natalie and Sandra Diaz Twain, two of his favorite castaways on Survivor Season 40 Winners at War. Obviously. The next day, Sam and his mom, and her mom, talk about how the whole thing did not go very well. And the mom continues to try to put these two back together. Because she's like, well, I tried to apologize and he didn't want it. And he goes, oh, give him a wreath. I beg your pardon?
Look, what was her argument? I'm trying to remember.
It was like an olive branch, give a...
Yeah, she was like, look, you can go and ask him to help with the food drive or whatever. And if he says no, you can come back with me and make cheese puffies. And I would have just gotten in the car, waited an hour, come back in and said, well, he said no.
Well, it's cheese puffy time. He needs to go do stuff at the food bank. And so she comes over and tries to help out. And she's like, oh, well, maybe you need my help. And he's like, no. And then she gets, like, super indignant about it. First of all, you're in the wrong here. Like,
yeah,
you fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, no, I'm good. And she's like, would it kill you to accept some help? And he's like, it might. But it wasn't said as a joke. Like, it was literally like, would it kill you to accept some help? And he's like, it might. Jesus.
These two are both playing Adele songs at full blast inside their heads.
Exactly, right? Sam admits to him that she is unemployed and needs something to do, and that helping him might actually be doing her a favor. So Noah figures, why the hell not? Many hands make less work. They have a heart-to-heart about Sam's issues and her employment status. Apparently, she hasn't been unemployed since she was 15. She's a workaholic. She, works herself ragged. Doesn't have enough time for Christmas. Does that sound familiar? Nope, never happened before.
Never happened before. What a new and exciting trope.
Apparently, Noah keeps putting a lot of work in with everybody because he's just so goddamn great. And at some point, he almost lost the cafe, but the town rallied around him and made it a cornerstone of the society because he's just so goddamn great. Look at how great Noah is.
Does this cafe exist in the same place as the Angel Tree? That was it.
I feel like that's the same thing they're trying to pull here. But I don't know. Noah's big issue with Sam seems to be that she's a sellout. Because she wanted to work in a place that helped people, but then got a job doing financing. And she said she started financing because she needed to keep her head above water. Because saving people doesn't give you money, and you need money to live.
She's not wrong.
No, she's absolutely right.
Nonprofits are great, and they're great for the human soul, and they'll earn you a bunch of good place points, but they don't pay the rent.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's 2020. You're in your 30s. Are you still ragging on people for selling out? I
mean, he's a small town cafe owner that still dresses like he's a hick. So
yeah,
he might still be stuck in high school.
What is selling out?
Betraying your truest desires for money.
Well, you know what? It's sometimes you need to. Yeah. It sucks, yeah, but I got medical bills, man. What do you want?
And you gotta pay rent sometime.
Yeah, you do. In order to make this food bank thing a big deal, they're going to retrofit the place out to look like a store, so people can come by and pick out all the food they want, and it's all gonna be free.
It's gonna be really cute.
It's a cute little idea. But they only have a day to do it.
Oh boy.
So they just let's go. And they do the world's most awkward handshake. They shake hands, and it's supposed to be oh, you can feel the spark between them. But they both have a look on their face why are their hands clammy? Sam worked all night to fix up the food bank because she doesn't know the meaning of the word moderation. And it looks like the whole town's going to help her out. Tessa, Sam's friend, is pregnant, and she's 2 days overdue. Bet you this doesn't come into the story later. I wrote that as a joke, but it really doesn't.
No. You would think it would. She would go into, an emergency birthing situation, right?
Yeah.
And it would force those two together to say...
to help her with the baby.
Yeah.
Nope. There are so many long looks between Sam and Sam and what's his name. And, like, did you forget your lines, or?
Maybe. Maybe we had to pad this movie out.
I guess. And this is where at one point, are him and Morena still going out? That's never been picked up again. And the answer is no. They go to Noah's to have hot cocoa and some long drawn-out conversations, because that's all you can fucking do in this movie, about who is dating who. And even Noah goes, are we really having the who are you dating conversation right now? Sam sees the N+S ornament, something that Noah was going to give her before she left, and this for some reason causes a fight. She's mad at him for still having feelings for her. And he's like, I don't know, I'm sorry, I couldn't give it to you, and so I decided to keep it, and she's like, you said it was all water under the bridge, and he's like, well, it's not. And she's like, I'm going to go sit down, and he's like, I'm going to heat up the eggnog. That is what he said, right? Because they came in for eggnog.
Yeah, they came over for some sort of hot drink, maybe it was cocoa, I don't remember.
Yeah, no, it was eggnog, I remember that.
Was it?
Yeah, and then he says, I just have to heat it up, but I couldn't get... Do you heat up eggnog?
Yeah, eggnog can be served hot.
Is it? I've never had it.
Yeah, because we just drink it out the carton.
Yeah, like the monsters we are. So she's offended by it, but, like, sits down on the couch and then starts to, like, smiley, get weepy. So I guess that's a good thing? You people react to things in very strange ways. We flash back to Will, remember him? And he has mapped out the distance between Sam and him. And that's creepy.
He's in full I'm a winner back mode.
Yep. We were worried that the food bank would not have enough food for all the people, but a generous benefactor showed up with a truck full of Christmas food. And I think they're implying that Sam bought the whole thing?
I think either Sam bought the whole thing or one of Sam's contacts, gave it to her.
Yeah, but it's never explained who or why. We don't get a scene about that.
I thought it would be her boyfriend.
I did too. But if it was, we don't know.
Yeah.
We have a montage of them fixing up the food bank to make it look all Christmassy. And to their credit, this place gets gussied up pretty well.
Yeah, you throw some garland on some shelves, it's great.
I like garland. Garland fixes a whole lot of things. And now I know how to fluff it up thanks to the Christmas house.
What was it? Up, down, left, right, A, B, start?
Yeah. The lady who runs the food bank wants Sam to work there full time because she does such a great job. And Noah and Sam talk outside about food stuff when when Will shows up out of nowhere. And he's just like, hey, who the fuck is this guy? And they like have like a macho off. Will's a real dick here.
Sure knows how to pick him.
Yeah, right? He's like, who is he? And he's like, I know you. You must be Will. It's like, yeah? I don't know you. And he turns to her mom. He's like, you must be her mom. Hi, I'm Will.
She's like, hey, how's it going?
Will has come with an opportunity for her to work at the America Health United, which is basically what she's always wanted to do, is help people. Mm-hmm. But they need the interview tomorrow. Tomorrow being Christmas Eve.
Who works Christmas Eve?
This is the second movie in a row.
Why would you interview on Christmas? It makes no sense.
Yeah. So basically, Will is like, I have to tell them now. Am I making this call or not? And Noah's like, you should go. You should take the job. And Sam is like, well, what do you want? And he's like, I want you to stay. Infinitely complicating things for no reason. And then Noah does this thing where they're holding hands. And like he lets her hand go and then starts walking backwards. Like, no. You have to go. Everything in this movie is overwrought.
Acting talent!
Oh, God. Sam does go and take the interview. And she has to leave her mom on Christmas Eve, who is super okay with this. Because the mother and daughter duo seem to focus their entire relationship on hot chocolate. Because that's all they drink and that's all they talk about. That and Noah.
They talk about cheese puffies sometimes.
Sometimes, but it's mostly hot chocolate and Noah. She gets the interview. She goes to it. And holy shit, is the interviewee Appa from Kim's Convenience?
It is! Hey, Mr. Kim!
And it is. It is Paul Sun-Hwang Lee. Apologies if I messed up the name. Always nice to see him. There's a show in Canada called Kim's Convenience.
Watch it.
It's very funny. It's on Netflix right now.
But, like, he knows he's in real movies, right? Like, he doesn't have to do...
He must be doing this just for the extra Christmas money.
Like... Doesn't Kim's Convenience give him royalties for Christmas?
You would think.
How bad are the taxes on this? Like,
well, this is American money, so.
Oh, so he needs an extra $1,000.
Yeah, exactly. The interview goes super well, but she ends up not taking the job and moving back home. Will is kind of a dick about it, and he
is he? I don't remember.
Yeah, so she's like, she comes back to their apartment, and he's like, "How did it go?" And she looks, and he looks, and she has her suitcase packed, and she goes, "You're not taking it, are you?" And she goes, "No, I'm moving back home." Tell me this isn't about the guy I met at the food bank.
You could learn his name.
His name is Noah. It's not hard.
Like the Ark?
She returns the necklace in the ring box that we never see her wear. And Will kind of lets her go. Taking it surprisingly well for being somebody who was broken up with on Christmas Eve.
I mean, she broke up with him several weeks before.
That's true.
And then he went into win her back mode, and she's just like, I got nothing for you.
Please go away forever. Sam comes back home for Christmas, and she decides she wants to move back home for good. Tessa calls in, and it's a girl. We never see Tessa again. We don't see the baby. We don't see anything.
I was about to say, I don't remember her calling. I don't remember this getting resolved.
Yeah. We even have a main character running down the street to meet with her romantic partner scene.
Oh, I like this.
Which is the first time I've seen it in one of these movies. And I believe it's a shout out to A Wonderful Life. Because as she runs down the street, she's like saying Merry Christmas to people. Mm-hmm. She accepts the job at the food bank, saying that she'll work there in the new year.
Well, she doesn't accept the job. She's just like, oh, we'd love to have you. Let's talk about it in the new year. Which means she doesn't have the job.
Oh, that's true. Actually, you're right.
She's going to interview for this job. She might as well have taken Mr. Kim's job in the meantime, just in case the second one falls out.
Good job, idiot.
She's not good at planning.
No, nobody's good at anything in this movie. No, she goes to Noah's house, but the door is locked because he is over at her house dropping off a present. So they go and meet up at their house. Sam and Noah officially get together. Sam gets what she always wanted, a job where she gets to help people. She finally gets a hometown Christmas. Tessa has her baby. Noah and Sam are going to move in together. Everybody gets what they want, except for Will, I guess, because fuck him. Anyway, then we get our Merry Christmas lead kiss. Mostly everybody is happy. Curtain down. This is the most boring movie we have seen so far, in my opinion.
I think what was the one before this one? It was...
Godwink.
Godwink
Christmas.
Was far more boring than this one.
You might be right, but I did not care one iota about any of these people. He's boring. She's overdramatic. They're bad together.
He's doing his best Wayne impression.
Yeah, and it's just like, he sounds like a Goo Goo Dolls song.
What?
Like the way he talks. Just like, no, you should take this job. And I don't want the world to see me. That's... he reminds me of a guy you would see on like the old CW shows. Like, up next on a very special Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We have to go kill vampires. And I don't think that they'd understand. He's a terrible actor. He's got no charisma whatsoever. She does, but they have no chemistry together whatsoever.
I mean, she's pretty good in this role. She just doesn't have chemistry with this
guy.
Yeah,
the script kind of lets her down. Then the directing is kind of boring. Nope, that was another movie I watched. I was going to say, there was this one really cool transition. Nope, that was a documentary. So, yeah, this one is not worth even talking about. You're gonna notice that this episode is particularly short because I got nothing. I got nothing.
Let's think. The acting was
subpar,
problematic.
Yeah.
Mr. Kim did great. You did great, Mr. Kim.
You did great, Mr. Kim. God bless you. You had 7 lines.
And you nailed all of them.
1 scene, and you didn't mess up once.
To the point where I think she made the wrong mistake of turning down the World Health Organization.
Yeah, I think so too.
You could have made the World Health Organization a little scummy. Oh, she went on this tangent during her interview about how money doesn't solve everything. You need to know and you have to make big changes. Yeah, you have to make strong fundamental infrastructure changes to do that. But you know what gets those strong fundamental infrastructure changes? Fundraising.
Yeah. Just say, it doesn't solve everything. You know what it solves? Living in a capitalistic society, which we do. Yeah. It sucks, but you gotta.
It greases the wheels for change.
But apparently she's got some money already, like, stashed up. So.
I mean, if she was making good money in New York and then took that money to a small town that is not New York.
I was going to say, the cost of living must have went down substantially.
She must have knocked off a couple zeros, you know?
Yeah. So, what do you think? Out of 10, what do you give this thing?
Oh, this is like a 4.
A 4? I was going to say a 3. Yeah. I don't care for this movie at all. This movie was like drinking warm water.
Warm tap water.
Warm tap water. It's like, yeah, good. It's a movie, I guess, but...
Yeah.
It tastes like metallic and pee.
It's green for some reason.
And it's green for some reason. I wouldn't shower in it, but you have to. So yeah, there's just not a whole lot to say about this movie.
Like, I can't even compliment it on set design because most of it takes place in an empty warehouse, right?
Yeah. And there's very little, like, Christmas decor.
A surprising lack of Christmas decor for a Hallmark movie, where they have what I thought was a 4-tree minimum at any given scene.
Yeah, there weren't no 4 trees in this, I'll tell you.
Mom had a tree, and that was it. Like, they decorated the food bank pretty well, but, like...
Yeah, it's a step up from Godwink, but it's a step down from Christmas House. Godwink, by the way, is a Chino.
Is it?
Yeah.
I guess you could just say Godwinks happen any time of year, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's basically... There's no reason for Christmas to be here. There's no reason for Christmas to be in this one, either.
Is it?
I don't think so.
Let me think about it.
Is it really a Christmas movie?
I mean, if this took place over Valentine's Day, right?
Same idea.
I guess it could be the same idea.
Chino.
But, like, if it was Valentine's Day, where would they be going to? I guess the trees we could substitute for chocolate or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, it's... Ah, God. Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a 3. You're gonna give it a 4. We're gonna even out into a 3.5, which is about all this movie deserves. Which is a shame because we usually reserve the lower half of the scale for Hallmark movie and mystery movies, but this was their lead off on the 7 days of Thanksgiving or whatever.
That's true. They're doing something weird. DJ Tanner's ushering us through something, and I don't know what he's doing.
DJ Tanner, Candace Cameron Bure is the host of these movies now.
Yeah, she's actually talking during the commercials, which is weird because she used to just say, "Welcome to Hallmark movies," and then that would be her bit. And now she's actually saying more than that. It's very upsetting.
Yeah, it's strange. But yeah, so that is our first, I guess, Monday movie. Even though it's Wednesday. Which means we're behind the 8 ball, which means we gotta catch up. So if you were with us last night when we did our live stream, we announced our next live stream, which is going to be tomorrow. For those of you who don't know, that's Thanksgiving.
Yay!
So we want you to spend Thanksgiving with us.
Yeah.
While we double feature our next 2 Hallmark movies. Almost said double team the movies. That's a different movie.
That's a different act.
That is true.
And you can't put it on YouTube.
So we are going to start tomorrow. I believe at around 1 o'clock is what we picked. And we will be watching A Christmas Tree Grows in Brooklyn and A Bright and Merry Christmas. Both of which gotta be more interesting than this, right? Like, one of them's about a tree, for God's sakes.
So, like, yeah, it's gotta be better. You don't know. One of them could be your favorite movies. You don't know.
That's true. Like I said, I start every movie with an open mind.
Like, Christmas House was surprisingly good.
Yeah, I dug that one.
Christmas with the Darlings has made the list of movies that I plan to watch on a yearly basis. So, do you think Christmas House has also made the list of
maybe
yearly basis?
Yeah. So, that's where we're going to be tomorrow. If you want to join with us, that'd be nice. You can sit down with us while you eat your turkey at 2 o'clock in the afternoon for some reason.
It's okay to eat Thanksgiving at noon. It's fine.
I know. It's dope. So that's going to be 1 o'clock p.m. for us, 4 o'clock p.m. for those of you on the East Coast, and whatever country you happen to be in. I'm sure you can work it out. I'm sorry, I don't know it. But yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And then we'll catch up, and then we'll be right back. We'll be right back to where we started on Friday with yet another movie. This has been a long week, kids.
It's only going to be longer.
So hopefully you guys are enjoying what's going on. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Kids, are you enjoying it?
I am.
Awesome. And then we will see you tomorrow, live and in color. Not in color. We don't use a camera, but we use a fireplace.
That's in color.
That's cute.
It is cute.
Anyway, cutie, should they watch the thing?
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's
no.
The acting is not great. The script is illogical. The set design is subpar for a Hallmark Christmas movie. You know?
Yeah. There is no reason. Is anything else on TV? Watch that.
Is One World Holiday on? Go watch that. Yeah. Christmas House? That's good too.
Professional cornholing? Watch that.
That's a thing. That's a real thing.
That's why I'm not making a joke. We saw that. It was on ESPN.
It was, and they were taking it super seriously.
God bless them.
It was so confusing.
I'm confused to this day.
Like, could they not draw some Santa faces on it or something?
That works for me.
What's the point system for professional cornholing? Why was it done in the hotel lobby?
I think that's another podcast. Stay tuned for our cornholing podcast. But until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. If you want to follow us on Twitter, I am at Empty Square on Twitter, EMPTYSQUARE, cutes.
I am at Aquadia_.
And if you want to chip in some money, if you're in that Thanksgiving giving spirit, which would be, gosh, mighty kind of you, you can do that at patreon.com/empty square, where you get a whole bunch of extra stuff, including behind the scenes takes and all the stuff that isn't fit to put on for free, but will make you pay for it. That didn't come out right. But you know how it is. But until then, we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.